Y'all, let's go. Come on. This is the Ecamm takeover.
I think I pulled him up. I may be too flat for my hair. Chris and I can butt heads.
Look who we got in the live stream, everybody. Look what we got in the live stream. Whoop, look who's coming in. Uh-oh. We got some more people coming in the stream. The heavy hitters are here, y'all. Oh no. The heavy hitters are here. All right, we're gonna cut the intro short. We're gonna cut it short. We're gonna cut it short because my man Kevin has to jump off really quick. So we're gonna try to squeeze in as many minutes as we can with Kevin here on live. I am here. This is your boy Lemuel Ayatude, aka Lem Drops, coming at you. We are live on YouTube. So if you want your comments to come in and you want your avatar coming in, make sure that you hop in on hashtag LemDrops YouTube /C/LemDrops, and you can come in through the YouTube space. We are restreaming, but we are using Ecamm Live. So we are live on Ecamm as well as the content creators market.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, and let's get live group here. And let me go ahead and introduce the folks that are here with us, the heavy hitters, y'all. Let's talk about Kevin here because he's got the limited time, and the rest of us, we're ready to go 5 hours. So Kevin will be here at a time.
Man, I wish I hadn't had that NyQuil right before I got on.
Go ahead, Kev. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, my name is Kevin Colby, and I'm in the North Carolinas, the good Carolinas, we like to say, in the north part of the world. And I'm a video coach, content creator. I love doing stuff. I'm a dad and a husband, and I've got my Amazon Live show doing my second one this week, and following these guys' leads, just trying to figure out what in the world to go on. I mean, I was just trying to figure out my headsets today. So, but remember, we are professionals.
We are very much so. Don't get that twisted. All right, so let's go down the road. What's up, Chris? Welcome. This is our first time on live, as well as Chris. Actually, this is our first time on live together. Actually, period. So, and it's also good. Look at the colors, you guys. Yo,
it's like that's nice, right?
Yeah, we really are pros up in here. If somebody doubted, we are pros. So
I've got the flesh color head really covered for everybody right here. So, mullet's kind of going back.
I smoothed my hair back a little bit for your show, man. Just trying to do
all the colors in the rainbow here. That's just awesome. And you took the mask off for us, man. So I can see that beautiful smile.
That's only on Amazon Live. That's the moniker. That's a good way for people that are like scrolling along, but like, what is this idiot doing with this mask on?
Bro.
And,
man, is that the Gangster Channel?
Yeah. I didn't even know it was you. I honestly didn't even know it was you. I was like, I thought it was two different people for the longest. And I was like, hold on. His eyes look really familiar.
You're so crazy. Is it open? Is it open?
Yeah.
Let me just
Yeah.
Let me see.
So let's go with Chris Stone first. Chris, welcome to the broadcast and the live stream. I know this is like family.
It's my honor, man. Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor. My name is Chris Stone. I'm with Cast Ahead at castahead.net. And, like my man, Kevin Colby, I'm also a coach, but just, maybe not as good of one, but I also am a dad and a husband as well. And And so, yeah, I like to work with people to do live streaming, and podcasting is really what I'm focused mostly on. And I get to, a couple times a week go live on Amazon with my partner in crime, Jim Fuse, who I think is joining at some point with Dealcasters Live. So I love this little community we're building here for Amazon Live influencers. And just sort of learning from each other, iron and sharpening iron. And, I'm happy you pulled this together, Lem.
Bro, I am happy that you guys actually volunteered to come in here.
Victims?
Voluntold. Chris Giles,
well, I
man,
paid my
the
$20
DJ
to your Venmo account. I get to get on here, right? I mean,
there you go.
I
I gotta put my BMAX stuff here. I don't even have that yet.
It's 50, man. What's going on here?
This is going to devolve. This live stream is going to devolve really quickly because of the way it's starting. But Chris Giles, man, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris Giles, aka DJ Mastermind,
Giles,
audio engineer. No, you're all good, man. Audio engineer, DJ, live streaming, gamer. This is all we do, man. Amazon Live is the way. So follow.
Yeah, follow everybody. Speak of Chris Stone, did you share your Amazon Live name, or what do we call Amazon Live? Is that channel also? What is it called?
Well, our show's called Dealcasters Live, but yeah, I guess what you would call it is a show, right?
Yeah.
Amazon is going to tell us what to call it, so we're just going to call it something. We'll call it, anything we want to call it. So come watch our show on Amazon Live. But I don't know about you guys, but like the number one question whenever I talk to people about this, the number one question is, wait, Amazon has a live platform?
Right.
You can go live on Amazon? It's like a total... So I feel like in a way we're just kind of like, spreading this kind of weird gospel of sorts to people, but I was like, yeah. And you know what? You can make a little money while you sleep when you do it. And if you're already going live and you already have an Amazon Associates account and you're already doing stuff and hiding stuff in your podcast and your show notes and all of that stuff, it's like, why not go live and get it while you're doing it and actually get to the end of your stream and look at your bank account and go, okay, I'm going to do this a little more.
Well, Chris Stone is already bringing. You see, this is the reason why I bring pros to this. We have to bring pros to these lives because then they actually bring us back to center of what we're talking about. And he's like, y'all, I know y'all guys are chatting it up, but let's get down to brass tacks and let's get down to business. But before we do get down to business, because of the way Facebook allows the permission to work, some of your avatars will not show up, so go to youtube.com/c/lemdrops in order for your avatar to show up. Because right now, all I see is Facebook user. I see the master here. The DJ Master is here. Sammy Superstar is here. But everybody else is a Facebook user. So hop on to youtube.com/c/lemdrops. So, Chris, let's get back to the money-making thing called Amazon Live and why. Again, you already you had said it, but let's reiterate why people should consider gravitating there, and then I'll toss you guys some volleys. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say is Jim and I, when we came up with our show for Dealcasters Live, we didn't intend to do it to make money. That was never our intention. We were like, we're already going live and interviewing great people like Kevin Colby and others, and we're already doing this stuff. And so why not create and test things out? I don't know you guys, I'm the kind of person that likes to take things apart and put them back together again and figure out how all that works. There's usually some parts left over, but it still works. But I love to do that, and I love to test things out. And so this was an opportunity for us to create a show where we can interview people and talk about the stuff that they use, the tools and stuff that they use that happen to be on sale on Amazon, which we kind of do already in our podcast and our live shows. See what happened. And we were pleasantly surprised when we got to the end of that thing and started to see how many people were watching, especially, I don't know if you guys were live on Prime Day or
no, I didn't even know.
It was insane, the kind of views that we were seeing. And when Jim and I decided we would go live 4 times on Prime Day. And in hindsight, we should have never turned off the cameras. We should have just gone and just like drank coffee and did that. But again, I mean, it's like, we're not doing it to make money, but it's nice that, you know, doing the stuff that we were already doing, we're able to pay for the cameras, pay for the microphones, pay for the guitars on my wall. No, they're actually already paid for. And that kind of stuff. So I just like to encourage content creators who are already doing great shows to go live on Amazon if you're already a good and that helps the content that's on that platform to get better. So like, you know, on Chris Giles' show, you know, Kevin's new show, Lem's show that we saw earlier today, it's like those are guys that are interviewing people, they're talking to people, they know what they're talking about. There's some other shows on the platform I wish that were better. You know, I know Kevin and I have talked about doing a show where we put a makeup on and we do we have a makeup show.
Kevin already has makeup on right now.
Yeah, I was going to do one with hair extensions. I think that, you know, awesome. Where I actually I put plugs in up here. I'm thinking that I don't even know if they do ratings, but I'm sure I'd get like a 12 or something, you know.
Now, Kevin, you're kind of just getting in because I just got in December and you're just getting into this space. This is going to be your second show on Friday. So share us a little bit how you got in, what exactly are the measures or the steps to get in for some people that may not know. And while I'm on the mic, Jim, I just sent you the connection. Hopefully,
okay, good. Yeah, I couldn't find it on the thread. I was gonna. So if you've got the link and you can send it to Jim, he's trying.
Yeah, I did send it. Hopefully, Jim, you can come through. I have not yet seen it. So, but again, we're the pros, so who knows? Go ahead, Kevin.
I had heard about it a while back and applied a couple of times, and I joked that I'd hit submit and I would get the automatic no back. I've never got a no so quick in my life. It'd be like, okay, no, well, okay. I mean, just act like you read it, you know. And then I was on Chris and Jim's show, in December, about a month ago, and they were very encouraging about it. Hey, you gotta try it again. You know, and they said probably somebody like you can get on. I think that was a compliment. I'm not sure. But anyway, I took it as one. And so,
did you feel the backhand? Did you feel the knuckles?
I did, the virtual slap. And then, and then Chris and I, we have a history that we won't even get into.
We want to get into that, but not on this stream.
But not on this show. Yeah. But I applied and I got in. And I think honestly what helped was the growth of my YouTube channel. Last year because I led with that, and not that I have a huge channel by any means, but I think it shows.
How many subscribers do you have on your channel?
I'm right at 2,300.
Yeah, because I think people need to not just the subscriber count that we're celebrating. People kind of get to know as an influencer, you have to have a certain following, and they look at that, and so to know like what Kevin, how many followers Kevin has. I am through the influencer program, through my meme work. For those of you that do not know, I do. Let's just big it up, right? I do professional meme work on.
Very nice.
But anyway, memes for tags here. But anyway, I have I have a page on Facebook and on Instagram that people follow me there, a few thousand. So that's how I got through. And so Kevin has subscribers for his YouTube. So go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, no, but you're right. And the thing is, you're joining the Amazon influencer program, but with it comes the ability to live stream on Amazon, which I'll be honest, I didn't know that much about either. And I don't even think it's that old, but my word, it's just so cool. So, you know, I didn't want to just do a show hawking products. And unlike Chris, I am in it for the cash. I mean, I'm totally in it. I'm just down with that. It's like, show me the Benjamin. I don't care. And, but no, I'm just joking, but
no, you're not. Don't lie. No, you're not.
Okay. I'm in it for the money. So hey, somebody's got to pay for these dollar glasses.
That's right. Somebody's got to pay for the gas. Somebody's got to pay for the gear.
Yeah. But, it is a way to earn income that goes even beyond just, hey, drop a link in the description, which I do all the time, and I would encourage people to do if they're there. But I thought, man, why not do a show, do something fun, entertain and interview folks. And so I did a test run this last weekend with a buddy of mine because I knew if it just crashed and burned, he didn't care. And so I'm going to do another one this week. And it's live streaming. It's fun. It's on a fairly new live platform, not Amazon, but why not be there? What the heck?
Chris, I think, was it you that mentioned it in Clubhouse that Amazon has actually been here since 2016 for the live?
Yeah. So they had been, but what they would just go live and make it a part of like Prime Day or holiday periods, and it was just there. It was just Amazon influencers probably in their studio or whatever. It was not necessarily sort of open wide for everyone, but they didn't start doing that until the end of 2019 is when they actually sort of had this influencer thing and lit it up so that you could go live. And it's actually, the live streams are in 4 territories. It's US, Canada.
Yeah, I saw that last night. Thank you. I appreciate that link, by the way.
Yeah. So, which is kind of crazy, but we were on a stream one time and we were talking about the Echo Auto that you can have Alexa in your car. I got to be careful and mute my my Echo device.
Yo, did you see India from my group? She actually, I guess she said something, and Alexa just totally gave her address away while she was live streaming. It was hilarious. We were all dying.
And now she has a lot of followers.
I know, a different type of followers, stalkers.
And it's cool. It's cool being on the platform and kind of like, you'll go on there at first. And I think for the first time you go on there, you'll probably see somebody, working out, or you'll see somebody applying makeup. And that's because a lot of those influencers, they got there from having a big Instagram account or whatever. But one of the things that I saw was Mastermind's show. And, a lot of people will get on and they'll do gaming. They'll put Fortnite up and, they'll just, put up OBS and just play a game. And if somebody chats, you'll hear them kind of mumble and answer the person, and they'll just throw a bunch of stuff in their carousel that they put on that is for sale, but they're not talking about it. They're just gaming, and they're just kind of getting in the hours, and hopefully somebody's clicking on somebody and they get their cookie and they get the money. But what I liked about Mastermind show is like, he mixes it up. So he'll do gaming and he'll go on there and he'll do his gaming thing, but he's talking. And so then he's talking about his mics and he's talking about different content. He's unboxing stuff. And so I love the fact that, we get to mix it up and test stuff out, see what works, kind of see. And then you kind of build your tribe, your followers up, and then they kind of expect you, when you go live, to either talk about cameras or to talk about video games or to talk about podcasting or whatever. So we're trying to build that platform, or I should say our shows on another platform, and hopefully be able to pull them off onto other platforms where we have success, like YouTube and other things.
Yeah, so. Speak of the Mastermind, share a little bit, Chris G, on your experience.
Man, it's been good. I think I got started like mid-October and just jumped on like Chris was saying, like I knew Black Friday, I knew Prime Day, like those days they were like, oh, just get on there, just stream, whatever. It doesn't really even matter what you talk about because people are going to accidentally see you, accidentally click on your links. And that was just such a great experience because that's kind of where the followers were. Like he said, if I could have just got on there Black Friday weekend, like cancel Thanksgiving, I'm going to stream from Wednesday through Cyber Monday nonstop. Like we'd have made so much money that weekend, could have took off the rest of December for real. Like
wow.
But it's just such a good experience because like other platforms, like when we live stream on Facebook and all that, you don't see any money up front.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta sell people something. You got figure out how to get them to your t-shirt shop or get them over here. And it was like on there, it's like, oh, these people are clicking, and then they don't even have to buy what I asked for. Like they don't even have to buy what we talked about. They go buy something else.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
let me can I put a coattail on that, because people that was exciting when I learned that. And I think the way I'm learning Amazon Live stuff is actually from here and there, because there's not many people that are talking about it right now, that you're kind of like hearing it from different, and let's be honest. Those that actually are getting a foothold in there are taking it and putting it into like classes that people have to pay for, and so we're like,
Hey, let me write this down.
That's the reason. That's the reason why I'm on Amazon, because I don't have money to pay for your class. So this is the reason why we are here.
I'll give you a discount.
So we're here. We're part of the giving economy. We want to give because this is what I believe. Part of the Lem Drop, the giving economy, is that if you give, you ignite givers, and the givers actually find ways to give back to you. So I'm not afraid of the moochers, because I believe there are less moochers. You know, when you go to a shopping center, there are less people that rob, and there are more people that pay for the food, for the stuff. So and there are going to be robbers out there, I'm sure of it. But I'm telling you right now, there are people that are probably thinking, how can I give back to Lemuel and to these guys, because they're giving us some value. So this is one of the things when I learned. And I think it was Chris or Jim that brought it up, when I learned that if somebody clicks on one of my items and enters my little storefront, that within 24 hours, everything that they click begins to be my kind of purchase, or they purchase through me. It totally like blew my mind. And it
doesn't cost them anything extra. That's the thing. You know, when people hit a link, they're not going to have to pay something else. So, hey guys, I hate to do this, but I gotta be on another live stream.
I mean, we don't want you anyway. You know it.
I know, man. Dang it. All right, just for
Just
that.
coming anyway. All right, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate your time with us,
Kevin,
man.
call me about the hair extension show. Okay.
I'll do it. Yeah, it's going to be a big hit, man. It's going to be like Party in Front. Nobody's done that.
All right.
Oh,
see you later, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, man.
All right, and look at the man. Here is the man coming in, the man with the master plan. Jim, we were just talking about you. You probably heard about it. It was nothing bad, at least not while you got on. But I was saying that. Well, before I say this, introduce yourself, Jim, because some people may not know who you were and who you are, and why you bring such value to what we're about to talk about.
I don't know who I am. I'm Jim Fuse. I'm Fusion Marketing. As I like to say, I do marketing the Marine Corps way. Retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel, and got into this live streaming stuff. I guess it's been over 3 years, and it's been a lot of fun. Chris and I have been doing some stuff together, and it's just the Amazon thing. We just kind of stumbled on. I gotta say stumbled on it because of Ross Brand. He's like, hey, you can go live on Amazon. It's like, what? So in a way, right? I don't know about you, Lem, but it was like so easy to get approved, at least for me. I was like, why aren't more people doing this?
Well, let me ask you something,
Jim.
Jim.
You have a Twitter following like Jim Fuse, which is, it's just below Kim Kardashian. You can get, approved right away. So that's how that works. Oh, look, we have a special guest.
I don't know how I got in.
I like the guest that he's got.
Chris, let me ask you, Chris Giles. Let me ask you about, because you just said, I don't know how you got in. What was your process?
Man, I think I did my Instagram, and even on that, I had, I guess, 2,600 followers or something on there, but like it was my personal, so it wasn't nothing crazy. I definitely didn't even have a YouTube. I think I had 5 people on YouTube. Like that's why I was like, some of these guys, I snuck in under like some of these guys.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. My children, as you can see, they just hopped into this live, and it's gonna be epic already. But let me get to some of these questions, because we do have some questions here. If that's okay, gentle peoples.
Hello.
All right. Somebody says Chris Giles is my favorite Amazon live streamer. I have no idea who you are. If you want us to know who you are, just hop onto the YouTube hashtag #LemDrops. And I think I know
Monty.
this guy. I know this brother.
Monty Weaver.
Oh, that's Monte. Monte, you should jump in. Send him the link, bro. And I think I know this dude is Chris Gloss, most likely. But here's a question. I'm new to Amazon, got approved, and figuring out what my first video should be. Anybody want to answer that?
Ooh. What's his product that he's into, or what's
a good question.
What is he into?
So Facebook user, if you can let us know what products you are into, maybe we could talk about the products that we're into.
Yeah.
Here, Chris is here. So Chris, if you can share with us what products you're into, and while we're waiting for your answer, we'll go round robin and tell us what we came in with.
Yeah, I think for your first show for anything, your second show is going to be better than your first. And so I never, we got lucky enough to get Jennifer Watson from the Weather Channel and Agora Pulse on in our first episode. And thank God she was patient with us, because we had to learn that you can't go live on Amazon Live in 1080p. And so we were set and ready to go with our RTMP and at 1080p, and we couldn't figure out why we weren't going live. So we had to learn through that issue. We finally figured that out. She waited for 45, 50 minutes as our guest before she actually went live, and then put in like an hour and a half. So we got lucky. But I would say that, your first time you go live on anything, just go, man, hit the button, press the damn button and go live and do what you're comfortable doing. If you have a show somewhere else, you're an influencer somewhere else, you probably have already gone live. So kind of do what you do, just kind of sprinkle in the products. And then there's times when Jim and I don't know if Chris G or Lem, if you guys have done this, but sometimes we'll have a guest on, or we may not even like share our screen or our Amazon, the store. We may just like highlight something in the carousel and talk with that guest. We don't necessarily we're not trying to be like QVC, the home shop. Sometimes if you're just comfortable doing whatever you're doing and you're talking about the microphone, the camera, all the stuff that's around you, I think that in and of itself gets you through, you do the reps, and you end up, going through your first show, learning what you're going to learn, and then your second one will be better.
Anybody else? Chris says tech and foodie and books.
Ooh, that's a
Books.
wide variety. So yeah, we like, as an example though, right? We'll bring on book authors in the social media space or podcasting space. And we had Chris Jackson on, and Dave Jackson and Chris Kremitzos on. And we talked about their book, right? So that's something you can have in the carousel. And then we talked about the tech gear that they used. And then I guess you could say from an Amazon percentage standpoint, some of these things don't get a lot of, you don't make any money off of gift cards, things of that nature. And if you want to have your show have a theme, that's the other thing. Like Lem, you're picking photography equipment, you're probably ending up in the tech carousel, right? So that's the other thing. If you start picking food, you may end up in the home and home and beauty or some of those areas. So that's another reason to think about what you're putting in as those first 10 products in the carousel. And so that's something I would consider. I think we try to stay consistent. It's stuff we like, or the people that we're bringing on can attest to. I know, Chris, Chris does, Giles does that. I mean, that's definitely, I think, the way to go. Stick with what you like, what you're good at. Because think about it, ultimately, you are in essence endorsing these products on Amazon's platform, and you don't want people returning it and saying, "Hey, these guys are, feed me a line of whatever." Don't watch them. So I think it's about, like you've been saying, Lem, about giving to help others in a way. I think that's how we look at it.
Amazing. Somebody asked the question, I'm not sure who it is, but Amazon Live versus Facebook Live. Can somebody explain to this person the major difference?
Number of views.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris Giles.
Oh, I could hear it froze up for a second on me, but yeah. So difference, Amazon Live or Facebook Live. Amazon Live is definitely gonna be directly like more product centric in the end. Like again, in a lot of their shows, they're doing interviews, so you don't have to specifically name the products. But the goal from Amazon is they want you to sell products. Like that's what the goal of Amazon Live is. Versus again, Facebook Live is like we are now. It's just the content. It's all about the content. So those are the two major differences, and they kind of have their own space. As you notice, these guys, we're all on both. Like we're doing different content on different ones because we want to sell on one side and then go here on another. I have a Facebook gaming channel. So I do multiple channels because they all have different goals. So that would be my main.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Len,
and
what I always look at is like, know where you're broadcasting. So like, if you're driving down the road and you look up and you see a billboard and it's advertising pizza and you're not hungry, you're not going to pull over for pizza. And so when you go live on Facebook and you start talking about products, well, sometimes people are on Facebook because they want to see something else. They're not there. But when you go live on Amazon, people are there to buy something. And so you can do a show and you could be creative, but it's like after a while, people are like, okay, what are you talking about here? Like I'm here to buy a mic. I'm here to buy headphones. I want to know what you recommend. And so it's sort of like if you're already doing stuff on YouTube, you're already doing unboxing and you're already reviewing stuff, why not go and do that same thing live on Amazon and talk about that? And by the way, you can actually port in videos that you've already recorded as well. And I know Ecamm and other software allows you to do that. So if you're already doing a product video, you can port that thing in, highlight that stuff in your carousel, and make more direct
Facebook Live shopping. But here's the other thing, right? Going back to kind of Chris's.
Oh, what happened to Jim?
We got to stop talking bad about Facebook.
Here he goes.
Apparently,
Facebook booted them off.
Right?
Jim, welcome back, man.
They heard me. They
heard you. They're like, nope.
With Facebook Live shopping, where I look at it is like it's almost like, well, where is the product coming from? What's the logistics? So if I'm gonna, sell this Rocket book on, Facebook Live, am I going to be the one shipping it where it's coming from? Where if I've got that product on Amazon, it's, I've got this probably one of the largest logistical hubs at my beck and call. And so I think, sure, it sounds great to, I can sell stuff on Facebook, but that's not, I'm with Chris. I don't go on Facebook to shop,
Yeah.
and I think just that's what I'd say. And not to mention, like I said, you guys are starting to see it when you're live on Amazon and you look at those results afterwards. Sometimes you're like, holy goodness, I cannot believe that many people just watched this.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, I just started just the week of Christmas, just because I am so, focused on selling that I was right on the time when nobody was buying anything. But since that time has really been eye-opening, especially like between my stream and this weekend. I think I posted it on one of our groups together, and I was just like, yo, I didn't even stream, and this amount of money came in, and it's a powerful tool, and I only have about 36 followers. Can you guys share with us your follower count on Amazon and how actually somebody gets to follow somebody and what it happens when they do follow somebody?
Yeah, what's crazy is that, Amazon has this follow function that is a part of their deal. Although really when you follow someone, you're supposed to get notifications when they do go live. But then you have to go into your Amazon app and go through hoops and stand on one leg and
make
hold
it really
is in the stream, and he's he's about to do his first, he or she, I don't want to assume, is about to do their first stream. Okay, and so one of the things you got to learn is you want to encourage people to follow you, so get creative about how you're going to do that. So Jim and I have done.
I'm going to show my
contesting.
I want to show this so that people can understand what we're talking about. This is
right.
This is the Amazon space for those of you that may not know it yet.
Yeah, so Amazon creates a little shop for you when you're approved as an influencer, and you can go in and follow Lem, you follow Chris Giles, follow Dealcasters, And so, it's not a pretty URL. And so what Jim and I did is we bought dealcasters.live and just have that redirected to that storefront. So that way we don't have to say, go to amazon.com/shop/ and all that. It's like nobody remembers that. Yeah. But they will remember dealcasters.live. So we bought that and have that redirect going over there. And just encourage people to follow. We've done contests and all kinds of stuff, because in order for you to level up and get to their top tier, you need 2,000 followers. And if anybody has a YouTube channel that they've started in the past few years, it's extremely difficult to get 2,000 followers when you're cranking out a video a day on YouTube. So on Amazon, which is a much more lean back kind of thing, where you don't have a lot of, what's the reason why anybody would hit follow on Amazon? I think I need your kids to follow us right now on Amazon. That's amazing. But yeah, Chris Gloss, make sure you encourage people to follow, and also just know that when someone goes in, everything's muted. No one can hear what you're saying. You have to ask them to unmute. So we do an overlay. You could do it in Ecamm. You could do it. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, where you're encouraging people to unmute whenever. And so you need that pattern interrupt. And like you talked, Lem, like you put that mask on, right? I mean, all of a sudden people are going to be like, "What is this? Who is this guy?
Who is that idiot? What is he doing?
What is he saying?" Right?
But people don't realize that I actually sell those masks too. So I have a merch store that I'm wearing merch for that thing. So I'm wearing it part of the anonymity, because on my Facebook pages and on my IG account, hardly anyone knows who actually is making those memes. So it's part of my anonymity, and I just brought it, and it actually worked, because people are
That's hilarious. Most epic live stream ever, guys.
That's right.
But they were wondering what is this guy wearing, and why is this Nerf stuff being shot at his microphone, and any other way. But yeah, it actually worked, so it was great. Thank you. And I didn't even think about the pattern interrupt until I heard one of you guys talk about it, and it's actually a very that we've done. Call it a trick, call it a hack, whatever. I mean, we kind of pepper that into our stream, and sure enough, you look at the live streams, and all of a sudden they'll go from double digits to triple digits, and then they'll come back down. It's just it's a weird thing. You can't spend too much time trying to figure it out while you're in the midst of doing a stream. You got to do your deal, So Chris asked also, does Ecamm work well with Amazon? So as a power user for Ecamm, I love Ecamm, my favorite software on the Mac. Or as of now, there is no native connection. At least I used Ecamm twice to go directly to Amazon Live, but that's about the only times that I was able to use it. So right now I Restream. I use Restream to connect because it just does it well. And I take my virtual camera from my Ecamm software and I port it there, and I do everything through Ecamm. I'm sure you could learn the Restream aspect of doing that, but I did try it one time and it was just a little bit clunky for me. So Ecamm does a great way of being, their interface is able to bring in the share mode. And I also have my phone, because what people don't know is it's phone only at this present time, right? Can somebody speak on that?
Yeah. So you've got to run the show from your iPhone app that they give you as part of being a creator. And so, you're chatting with the people that are leaving comments, you're adding items in the carousel. You can do that in real time while on there. But yeah, so you can't just like, I don't want to use my phone. But to your point, you're able to RTMP to use stuff like Ecamm or OBS, StreamYard, and I was curious about that too, because I know we have some friends that are on Amazon Live, but they've been having problems with Ecamm. So Lem, you probably got an opportunity to maybe give them a course, because obviously you've been able to do it, but there's a couple of them who've gotten, and I say, well, saw Lem do it, so obviously there's a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like in that place. I think all of us here on this live stream would probably say that we are kind of those people that are kind of like purpose driven and goal driven. And so we kind of push through until we get our goals. So no matter what, I want to use Ecamm. And there's right now at this present time, I'm sure the boys are working on a more streamlined approach to that. But because of that, I kind of push through. I want to continue using Ecamm. I don't want to depart from using Ecamm. And so I'm able to use my Restream account. And Restream has an incredible way to use the virtual cam. So I kind of just push it through. And even today, I had some little echo issues, and I just figured out something in today's stream. So hopefully next stream, it'll be a little bit better when it comes to the audio situation. But we work it, man. Why? Because at the end of the day, there's an avenue for us to connect to the audiences that follow us and to provide value to audiences across the sphere of Amazon. And Amazon has been gracious enough to allow folks like us to make money off of products that they have on their shelf, so to speak. And so why not use it? Why not take the influence that you have and the subscriber count that you have and use it to go through an avenue that, hey, I enjoy streaming. I enjoy this. I enjoy Amazon. I enjoy photography. So might as well marry all these three. This is the only way in America that you could be polygamous. And I'm in trouble. I am marrying all these likes and all these loves into something that actually is beneficial both to the viewer, right, gentlemen? You could say this because now the viewer just does not click on an item. We're actually presenting them the know-how and the reason why they should buy. So my little tagline is know why before you buy, and know how before you wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little tagline. Know why before you buy and know how before you wow. So I have these photographers come in talking about this camera gear, and I'm look at Chris You're writing this down, bro. That's mine, man. That's mine.
You just trademark
credit. They give you credit. Go follow.
Chris is right.
On
I saw his pen pick up. Like, okay, I got.
Like I was looking for a phrase. That sounds good.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that we are here in this space. Ecamm is providing us with this ability to do this, provide value to the customer and user, and provide value and joy for us because this is what we enjoy, and marry those things, all three or four or whatever, together aside even while you sleep.
The last is somebody that's doing a live stream and they don't like the live stream. And someone's doing a live stream and they don't like what they're talking about. It's like, if you don't like what you're doing, go ahead and stop and find something else that you like doing. And I think that's your point. It's like Jim and I, when we started doing our show, it's like, we love to do this. We'd love to, I love to help people and talk to people and to help them with their podcast, help them with their live stream, help them with all of that stuff. Somebody needs to help Lem because we just lost him on the screen. We lost our host. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but in any event, I think that's, if you don't like what you're doing, try to find something else that you do like. And that's what really got Jim and I going on this thing, and why we didn't get frustrated when we couldn't figure out how to go live at 1080 and all of those things that we're trying to hack together to end up going live on Amazon. We worked through it because we like doing that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Man, I think that's what's really cool, man, because I think the biggest thing is being authentic on there. Because like you said, I don't talk about anything that I don't sell. Like, people ask all the time, like today I was talking about PCs and they're like, oh, what about this? I'm like, look, I don't use it. I use Intel and I use NVIDIA. I'm not talking about anything else. I don't get paid from them. I would love to, if you guys are listening, send a check, but but this is what I know. This is what I use. I don't talk about anything else.
Well, that's a great point too, because Jim and I have been approached by by companies, and they'll say, "Hey, we'd love for you to talk about this, and how much do you get paid per stream in order to do that?" I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! I don't know anything about your product. If you feel free to send me your product, I would love to test it out, and if I love it, I'm very comfortable in streaming about it. If I love it, and if you want it back, I'll even send it back to you. I don't care." But happy to do all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm like, and that's kind of the reason why we have guests on, is because they're talking about stuff we don't have. You don't necessarily have to have everything in front of you that you're talking about on Amazon, but I mean, there's all kinds of. Jim and I end up having these guests on, and we end up buying half the stuff they're talking about. And I'm like, oh man, like I'm using all my Amazon money to buy the products for the guests that are talking about their stuff.
So you're streaming just
fun.
to get a discount on your equipment, is what you just said. That's right.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's so good.
What have you found to be? Have you found a way to kind of like I know we have the like pattern interrupt, but what are some of the products that you've found that people actually kind of, or I don't know if there's a product set that actually has more of a customer base? Is there such a thing?
Well, I
would
it'd be
say.
good to know I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris and I talk a lot about, and I have to be careful because she's sitting here behind me. But the Amazon devices that you talk to, right? We've seen not only a lot of sales on those because they had some really good deals between Prime Day, Black Friday, but then the items like it. We kind of joke that we talk about the Fire Stick all the time, and because talking about how you can repurpose your TV if you're streaming, all these different ways you can live stream to it. But then we've sold a bunch of Fire Sticks. We've never talked about, Roku stick. We've never talked about a Roku stick. And Chris has got Chris likes to use a Garmin watch, and so he talks about that. I'll talk about the Fitbit. We've sold a bunch of Garmins. That's the kind of cool thing, is you start to see like, okay, these are the things that people like. There's things we have. We talk a lot about the Blink cameras. I've got a couple that I've installed here, and we show people how they work. So I think it kind of goes back to, if you start to see the results, and then those are top sellers on Amazon as it is, and that's where we'll see that pop on the stream sometimes when we put the Fire Stick in the carousel, and all of a sudden our live viewer count goes up, and then we can go to start talking about other stuff. Have you seen that as well, Chris G?
Yeah, for sure, man. Most of the time it's the stuff in my setup. Like I'm using an Elgato stream card, right? Anything Elgato is getting sold. The Logitech mic, it's literally the stuff that is so popular that it's going to sell anyway. I just happen to have it. I put it in my carousel and I go, yeah, this is what I use. And then what also happens is a lot of times when people, if it's not in their budget, like, the Sony camera, it's not in everybody's budget. Well, they'll go buy the Logitech camera because they just need a webcam. And like, I think I sold like 9 of those yesterday, which I was like, really?
Now, you know what? That's one of the things that I have not learned yet. And how do you actually see what people purchase from you? Because I was trying to figure out, I heard somebody talk about that. And I was just like, where? And I was trying to find it in my apps and trying to figure out how that's
going to be on your desktop
only?
web.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be on the web. When you go into your reports, like you'll start to see like how many clicks you've got when you go to your live store, because now you've got 2 accounts, right? You've got the live, the storefront, and then you've got your old account from when you just were an associate. But you can go in there and you'll start to see this report, like they'll give it all the items that you've sold out to it you've sold that have not shipped. So put it in your account until that stuff ships. So we've got a bunch of stuff like that right now.
Oh, see, I thank you so much. I figured there are some things that are done on the phone and some things that are done on a website, web-based type of thing. And actually, let me just show everybody the website end of it. Right now, this person is streaming, and can we find? How do we find you guys? Like, say I want to look for Deal Busters. How do we find you guys?
Well, you wouldn't find us at
Actually-
Deal Busters.
I mean,
Yeah, we're at the
Deal
Busters.
Casters. I'm sorry. Why did I put Deal Busters?
Because we like to bust some deals too. We don't just cast deals. We like to bust.
That might be our next show, Deal Busters.
Deal Busters,
like
but
Mythbusters.
Deal
You
Casters.
better write it down. You better write it down, or he's going to copyright it.
Yeah, I know. Giles already have something written down from me already, and now I have to, I have to share all my wealth. But how do you? I find you guys.
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing, and I was talking about earlier is like they don't make it easy. Like if you wanted right now to go find Chris Giles, or DJ Mastermind or whatever you've got, basically you've got to try to find an old stream or have saved what was the URL, which is that Amazon.com/shop/C Giles or whatever you would use as your shop name. That's why Jim and I said, okay, we're gonna take that URL and we're gonna do a redirect and buy Dealcasters Live. So if you open up a browser and typed in dealcasters.live,
Not Deal
you'd hit
Busters,
the
right?
page. That's right. Although that's coming.
That's coming. That's the new show.
Dealcasters
Let's get it fast.
live,
Hold
right?
on.
February.
Let me get on GoDaddy real quick.
It's so crazy.
So Chris G, I've got a question for you, and I'll give you hours first, so it'll give you a little time to think about it. So,
Right.
What is the craziest item that you saw that somebody has bought on your item list? When you pulled it down, you've seen what everybody buys. What's the craziest item that you saw? For Jim and I, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago, we looked at the list. Somebody actually bought a tire. One tire somebody bought. After watching one of our shows, I guess they felt compelled to go buy one tire on Amazon.
One tire.
One tire. Just one. Not four. Just one.
I don't know if I can beat that. I'm literally like looking down, like I don't know. I think you got me on that one, man.
I think we get like 1% of that as a commission. I just think it's fun. Even if we got zero, I think that was the funniest thing ever. We can just say, hey, somebody bought a tire after watching our show. So
That's right.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll get a tire dealer come after us now, right? Want us to sell
Let me
tires
ask you
on
guys
Amazon.
a question. What have you found to be the kind of the hindrance, the largest or the greatest obstacle that people have said to you that prevents them from going on to this space?
That's a good question. I think a lot of people have difficulty with the platform itself. I think there's difficulty in qualifying because they're not clear in saying you need X amount of subscribers or X amount of followers. Other people have said LinkedIn was not a qualifier either. It's just YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And Jim can say, well, I had 9,000 followers on Twitter, and that's how we were approved. I know Chris said he had 2,500 or whatever on Instagram, and he got approved, but that doesn't mean that Amazon didn't move that goalpost. So it could be more. And other people have had less, and they got turned down and then just submitted the following week and then got approved. So it's just it's that kind of frustration. It's getting approved, and then the process of going live is not great. You've got to figure out a way to do RTMP and go live and do that. But for people like us, we kind of we're good at that. We figure out how to cobble things together to make a live stream. Other people are just like, listen, if Amazon's not going to make it easy for me, I'm not going to do it, which is a little weird for me because it ends up being worth it. It really does.
Yeah. And I think too, it's like we were on Scott Ayers' show yesterday talking about Amazon Live, and he kind of polled his audience. How many of you have either heard of or seen an Amazon Live? And it was probably 90%. Like, what's that? Never heard of it. So I think if you want to call it from a frustration standpoint, as much as they're wanting us all to go get followers, they're not doing a very good job of getting it out to where people know that. So I mean, it's really, and that's why I love the fact that we're all have connected, because we can help each other out to get all of us, to get more viewers to our shows, because otherwise it's like I had no idea. And we've seen people do a couple episodes, and then to Chris's point, I guess they feel like, oh, it's not worth it. I'm not getting any commissions off of it, and I think it's just you got to be persistent. You got to have a plan. Be different. Don't try to be like everybody else. I think Chris G's got a very entertaining show. He communicates with his audience. Love what you're doing, Lem. Gotten to watch a couple of your shows.
Thank you guys for that support. By the way, that was huge.
Back. Yeah, that's what's going to bring people back.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to build. I guess for me, my part is so let's just fully open, right? It's kind of like, okay, what is this space? I really don't know what this space. I'd like to talk about it, but I do not have a firm grasp on it, and those that probably do are kind of like waiting for others to pay them in order for them to get there. I got no issues with that. Obviously, it's proprietary. That's your and people get value off of that. So it becomes difficult for somebody that may not have the kind of funds or don't want to share those funds in that way to kind of get into that place. But where do you think this space is going into? Let's say to the next Black Friday, the next Cyber Monday. Where do you think will it be in that time frame? I hope I'm in the hundreds, thousands, obviously, but where are we heading to for this space?
I think it's just the beginning.
Yeah, it's difficult to really know exactly, because I think it still is really new, and so those of us here that are on stream and some of the others that are watching in the community that we're in on Facebook, point in time go, boop, we're pulling the pin. This is not working for us. We're going to decide to do something else, and so we're constantly looking at this as rented land, and we're saying, okay, whatever we're doing. We're going to be launching an audio-only podcast. Obviously, a lot of the content that we're doing, we can repurpose into YouTube videos. We have to be careful about, Amazon stuff showing up on YouTube and trying to make sure that we're not. That's a good question, because
I know I heard somebody talk about that, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Chris, but I don't want to
No, you're good.
I heard of that, and I've been trying to bring in my followers into the Amazon space, and I've restreamed or kind of restreamed in multiple places. So I'm thinking, okay, let me go and stream multiple places. Let me make sure I hit all my areas, because some of the content that I'm producing, some of the photographers that are coming in are valuable to other spaces. But then I heard one of you guys share with us about this copyright, or maybe this where you can't really use Amazon. Please explain to me and maybe to my audience, to our audience rather, what exactly is that all about?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've heard stories of people that have taken stuff where they're showing Amazon screen, and they're kind of like showing that whole process and putting that up on YouTube. I don't think the issue really is taking whatever you want to do and promote it on Amazon. Amazon's like, bring your tribes over here. If you wanted to promote your YouTube channel and follow me here, you could do that. They obviously they want people to stay on their platform and shop, but I don't think they're really worried that they're going to be watching your show and leaving for YouTube and staying there. The issue is what you're doing on YouTube promoting Amazon. And I think that we just have to be creative. I'm not saying everything that I would put on YouTube that has an Amazon logo or whatever on it is potentially going to get pulled down. But I'm always a better safe than sorry type of person. I always want to be like, if we're going to take the time to make this content, and I'm going to take the time to edit the content and make a video that's that I feel like is going to be useful for us on YouTube, I just want to make sure that it's going to, we're going to be able to slip it past the goalie and not have to worry about somebody.
I think I'm not. There he is. He's coming back. Yeah, where are you, buddy? There you are. So I'm not sure, why we're losing people. While we're playing like for what is that,
Musical
4 in a row,
chairs,
like
right?
connections. But it is what it is, and like
I
Kevin
think
said,
I'm next. I might be the next.
Right? We've all been
If I don't
kicked out.
get to talk to you guys, I love you. I'm sorry.
if we are taken by the Facebook police from out of nowhere, just remember we care about you and follow us on Amazon.
Deal busters.
not yet, Deal Busters.
Yeah, can't find the Deal Busters anywhere. Yeah,
So-
I think Lem, the thing like we've done is we'll multi-stream to Twitter, but the thing is, even if you're multi-streaming, you really want those people on Amazon, because that's where we don't get any love if they can't buy the item on Facebook, they can't buy the item on Twitter. So if anything, it's like maybe you start your show. Our friend Rob Balasabas does that, where come over and watch him on YouTube eventually. Or Doc Rock's been talking about how now he's just going live on YouTube. So it's kind of the same thing. Like we might start out there. It's like, hey, come on over to the Amazon side, follow us over there. So I think that's where there's some benefit, because we have these established audience on these other platforms that we don't yet on Amazon. But in the big scheme of things, I don't think there's any benefit of like multi-streaming your Amazon live show on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing. I don't know what Chris G, do you actually try to multi-stream, or are you just pretty much Amazon Live?
The only time I multi-stream is if I'm just gaming. So if I'm just gaming, I'll put it on the gaming channel, because I can get my hours up on Facebook that way and then still make money over here. But if I'm like talking about products, I won't actually multi-stream.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, going live is to create a little FOMO. And so that's what we'll do, is we'll go live and shoot it over on Twitter. And we've gotten actually people contacting us for products and whatnot that saw the stream on Twitter. And so what we'll do is we'll post it, we'll retweet it, and then make a comment with the link, so that they'll come over to dealcasters.live on Amazon, as opposed to watching this thing that's on Periscope, soon to be Twitter Live, I guess. And they're going, what are these guys talking about a carousel for? Like, what is this? Why are they,
Right.
And so you could say, hey, listen, we're live over on Amazon type of
Now,
deal.
I know you mentioned carousel. What, for those that do not know what that is, what is that exactly?
That's where you put all the products. That's where you've got, you got, that's where you line up your show.
It's
And
this
so what
one,
Jim
right?
and I do,
It's at the bottom.
and I'd love to hear what you guys do in terms of show prep, and maybe there's other people that are Amazon Live creators that are watching this or watching it later on replay. But like Jim and I will, when we have a guest on, we always ask them, what products they use, what's, and they're usually happy to go, this is my mic, this is my camera, I love this, I love the Joby Gorilla Pod, or like whatever item that they use. And so we'll absolutely focus on that. If it's an author and they've got stuff already for sale, we can populate that carousel. But sometimes Jim and I will just go live talking about what's hot right now, what's discounted right now in the world of podcasting or live streaming or whatever. And we'll just be looking for discounts and deals. And so, I mean, it doesn't take that long to kind of, research and find the items and throw them in the carousel, but we'll also do stuff on the fly. And we'll start throwing there. And, Jim's the guy who's doing all of the stuff within the app. So that's where it helps that he and I are working together. And so, I might be looking up something for somebody that was looking for a particular different set of headphones that are below $99 or something like that. And I'll be looking it up, and then Jim will be talking, and he can run something on the app and populate it. And so we kind of have like a little team thing going on, to where we can kind of keep that carousel, always flowing, always making sure we're highlighting an item when we're talking about it, because when we do that, it's going to be on the product page. And Jim is kind of the Wizard of Oz when it comes to that creator app.
So you guys can actually become a team, an admin team on the back end. Is that what it is? There's not just one person that can run it. There are actually several people, or do you guys just log on via the same account and you pretty much are the same person?
Account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
That's so
Jim had mentioned that to me. Hey, make sure you when you're talking about something, make sure you highlight it in your carousel. And I was like, oh, what part? I understood what carousel was, but I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, do it on your phone. So there are a lot of things that are kind of like for instance, searching for somebody actually easier on a web browser on your Mac or on your PC versus actually on your phone where you're supposed to go live, and it's a little.
Well, and we just I hadn't thought of it before until because every time if you go into your app when you're getting ready to add products, what's the first thing you see? You see your idea list.
Yeah.
So my thought now is, okay, like you did today, I've got the idea list of my guests. Now, if I want to add, so maybe I'm going to start to create an idea list because you can do that on the web, which is a lot easier, and say, these are the things that I might pull into a show, and it's already on my storefront. So now if I go in the app, I'd be like, because like sometimes Chris will text me like a set of headphones or a watch. And when I go in and try to search for it in the app, it's not the same exact one. And it gets so frustrating because it's like they don't make it easy to search. But if we had created like an idea list in the storefront, it'd be like, oh, okay, this is our watch list, and I'll just pick that watch. So I think that's a little hack, I think, that just recently learned. I think we're starting using more often.
Yeah, that's so good, Jim. That's actually what I do. I have a most recent live stream idea list. And so if my next stream is different, I'll just go in and delete it all. And then I'll literally just go to the website and add to that list what I'm going to talk about. But I didn't even think about doing it live while I'm on the computer. Just add it real quick, and then just because I'm like on there live, like, all right, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to look. And I'll go find it on the stream. So I'm like, it's easier for you guys if it's here. They don't know that I just want them to click on that link. But
yeah, actually, so what I've done is, obviously, I think most of us, I thought it was my own genius, but it wasn't. This is actually the way it's done, is actually tell stories, sell through stories, right? So I'm talking to my guest and we're sharing, for those of you that do not know, I really front the photography end of the store. So high ticket items, I think, the way I'm selling it was like $150 almost every item, in the way it breaks down. But anyhow, so what I've done is actually I would send my email to my guests. This is valuable for those of you that are watching us. I send an email to my guests and I request them, hey, what is your gear list? Send me the gear list. I then create a gear list for that particular photographer. I then I flood that, or I inventory their gear, and I actually send them that gear list. And then I tell them, share that gear list too. Because then that continues to be within my store. And correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody enters my store through their list, that person that I may not even reached through my live is actually now connected to my store via that person's list that I created. And therefore my network, they may not even know about my Amazon store, but because they know about the photographer, they're actually linked now to my store, at least for the 24 hours that they come in. And so that's the way I do it. And I actually speak. So when we're talking about a photographer and what their shot is, I talk about the idea behind the shot. and then the gear that they use, and then I bring it up. And to add to what Jim had placed today, I did it while they're talking about it. I have the screen share, the body that they're talking about, and we're not talking about the regular body. We're talking about camera body, okay, y'all. So anyway, we're talking about the camera body that they have there, and then I go on my carousel and actually press that body or that item that they're talking about. So I kind of triple dip in the way they're talking about the camera. I have it shared through their gear list, and I am tapping onto my carousel as they're speaking about that list. What do you think about that idea, gentlemen? Because again, I'm new to this space, and
Dude,
what do you guys think?
Dude, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think
That's definitely good.
it's not only it's not only like, to your point, like getting additional people to possibly clicking on your store. Yeah, you are definitely getting that cookie for 24 hours when somebody goes there, but you're helping out that person's tribe, that person's, you're serving them. It's like, this is their gear. Like, here's a store for you. And of course you're getting, 3, 4, whatever percentage it is, depending on whatever the item is. But you brought them there. That's kind of like a little service fee.
Well, I told my photographers and the pros that come, we go 50-50 on the live. So for me, there is a great value send, because I'm of the notion that if I give, we all rise up together. And, I give you a reason to share the live, and not just because you're there, but because, hey, if more people see it, the more chance you'll make in the process as I make them. And so we're in it together. Although it seems like my individual, when I go on live by myself, those have been more visited and there are more purchases in that time frame. But I think what I'm doing is really building that. And for me, in this space of photography, I'm building a niche and I'm building a following, and it's causing people to say, hey, not only is he selling pro or sharing his pro photography, but we can learn from it, so forth and so on. So now this space, I'm hoping, would be the space for pro photographers when they do upgrade or they level up or what have you. And even people like us that say, hey, you know what? I'd rather hear from a person that actually uses this as part of their living to purchase this high ticket item, because, before you buy, know why, right? What do you guys
I think it's
about
a great idea, Lem. Love what you're doing.
Yeah. I think one other thing too, that's to kind of dovetail off of that Jim and I do, that, I don't know, maybe is helpful for you guys or anybody else that's Amazon Live creators. So, all of those shows we download on the back end, and I take all those shows and I chop them up into social media. So it could be anywhere from a 30 to 60 second snippet from something that somebody said. We use a piece of software called Lately AI, where I can pull that video in and it just spits out like 300 different, clips from that video. And then I put the link to the actual show. And so if you're seeing a great quote that, Lem, if you were on the show and we were talking about cameras and you were like, you had this nugget and that became this and so Jim, obviously with more Twitter followers than Kim Kardashian, when he puts that up on his Twitter feed and people click on that thing, guess what? You got another 24 hour, that cookie is. And then we build out and schedule all those socials for months. I mean,
what's that app again? Is that a phone or is that a software?
It's a web-based software. It's called Lately AI. It's trylately.com.
Trylately.com. Thank you.
Yeah. And you integrate all your socials and you pull in your videos and it just chops them up. It transcribes them and all of that stuff is brought in, and you just clips, and you could just kind of set it to where, okay, this is going to be 30 seconds or 60 seconds, or, here's what the quote is. And you go back in and you type it up a little bit so it looks a little bit more of a, baity on social, so somebody will click on it. You throw in your hashtags, throw in whatever, and it just spits out 300 pieces of content that you just schedule out over time. And, we usually put out, anywhere from 15 to 20 pieces of content for Dealcasters Live a week across all our socials.
So let me ask you guys a question. Can somebody actually make a living doing Amazon Live?
Sure.
I believe so.
You can make a living doing a YouTube channel. Like I know a lot of YouTubers, you can make a living doing this. I wanted, I mean, I'm having fun, nice problem to have. I do this for a living. I'm making enough money to do that and feed my family. Not a bad idea. But I think it's possible if you get a good enough following and are a big enough influencer. Sure.
Speak of then.
Yeah, I think you'd have to spend a lot of time.
Oh, go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
Definitely, you'd have to spend a lot more time. Yeah, I think you'd have to spend a lot more time on the platform, like daily. And I know there's Chris. I'm sure you see them. There's a few people like they're on there all the time. I don't know what their numbers are like, but obviously they're on there for a reason. I think we've been pleasantly surprised at the revenue we're getting from Amazon. Definitely can help pay a couple bills. And I think that's why sometimes people start with YouTube, right? They want to get that, hey, if you can pay off your, whatever you want to call it, like your cost for streaming or things like that, doing stuff like this. But you can do that a lot faster with Amazon. And days like, it's like, I think sometimes like I wish they'd have Prime Day every month.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna come in. I was gonna ask if you guys are not too, if you guys would be open to it. What was the best day? What did it look like for you? One day you just like, holy moly, what happened here? Would you guys be open to sharing that?
Yeah, I would say Black Friday for us. I mean, 50,000 views.
Wow. Okay.
And hundreds of product clicks. We still don't know the final results because some of that stuff still hadn't shipped yet. But that's what's funny too, Chris. Yeah, you know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But I would say that was the biggest day we had.
Chris is like that quiet person that like has all these and he's just quiet. Yeah.
He's just writing those.
He's like that guy in high school that's like quiet, but you better not mess with him because if he does get loud, you're about to see his power, right? Just don't mess with that kid. But you said, Chris, how was Black Friday for you?
Look, that's what I was trying to look up. I was trying to see what the numbers actually look like, man. I mean, I don't know, estimate. I know the November, and I probably only streamed 8 days. I think we pushed out in revenue about $75,000 in revenue
in 8 days.
Amazon. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So I was laughing because I was looking. I was like, it depends on your product and stuff. But like, I was looking at my Insider because I've already been denied twice for Insider. So I'm on my third run, which is maybe 10 days old, and I was like, oh man, I already did 21,000 shipped out. Like, man, it'd be nice if the commission was a little bit bigger.
Wait, well, Chris, you mean A-list though, right? Because you're an Insider already.
I'm sorry, yeah, A-list.
Yeah. As I say, I know you're definitely an insider.
And maybe maybe we could, because it's already an hour and 20 minutes. Maybe we could wrap it up with the idea of what are actually the commission based. I mean, Chris, you brought it up. Chris G, you brought it up. What are the commission based? What are the percentages that people are getting? Because I know somebody asked, hey, Amazon is making this and you're only making that, but they don't understand the ratio between what Amazon makes and what you make. Can somebody explain that for us?
Yeah, I know on the base of ours, I mean, we're rough to give it a better average. I mean, you're anywhere from 1% to 3%. I'm in the electronic space, so most of my stuff's 1% or 2%, but I'm selling, $2,500 computers. So, it's fine with me. But yeah, keeping in mind that Amazon is slim margins. They just ship so much more stuff. So they're probably getting, another 5 or 6%. And then the rest goes to the original company. One thing that we pushed was people were upset about, Small Business Saturday and stuff like that. And I had to remind them because I used to sell on Amazon. I'm like, you got to remember, these are small businesses on Amazon. Amazon's just the face and the platform. Like most of the businesses are small businesses. So you can actually help small businesses by streaming their stuff, like I mean, Elgato makes a lot of money, but let's be honest. Like, how big is the business itself actually? It would be
Right.
considered a small business for real. Like, so.
Yeah, I like what Chris G said, and it's kind of what Jim and I have always thought of is like, let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to get on and talk about something that I don't know anything. I'm not going to talk about shoes. I'm not going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about microphones, and I'm going to talk about cameras, and I'm going to talk about, Garmin watches, and I'm going to talk about the stuff that I know how to talk about. And so, if I look at it and I were to go, okay, hey, you know what? I might make 5% if I can start her. My wife, that kind of stuff is like we're not gonna do. And like Chris G said, it's like we know it's anywhere from 1 to 3. Sometimes we'll get an item somebody buys like a tire and we get more percentage. That's fine. That wasn't because we said anything. It's just because they kept shopping for 24 hours and bought one.
That's so powerful. So powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful. You know what's funny? Chris was actually booted out. He said he was going to be next.
I'm telling you, man, they're watching. Facebook's watching us right now, man. They know. They're playing with us right now.
Oh,
Stop it, Facebook.
Goodness. All right, so let's close it out with the last segment, I guess. I'm trying to make it segmental. But how do you actually process from beginning, from your Amazon account starting, next step, then into the influencer space, or rather into the Amazon Live space? Would anybody want to answer that one?
Yeah. So if you go into Amazon.com, become an associate, do the search for the influencer program. And so when you go in there, they're going to have you sign in with your associate's account that you've already got. So it's probably, for me, it's the same account for pretty much everything. And then it's going to ask you to pick a platform: Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. What I would recommend, if you can, Twitter and YouTube, you're going to get instant notification if you're approved or not. So go with your biggest platform. Now, mind you, if it's Facebook, it's got to be a Facebook business page. Instagram, it's just your Instagram account. Like, that's how Chris got approved. So you pick it. If it's Instagram or Facebook, they say it could be up to 5 days. Once you're approved, you're going to get an email. They're going to say, hey, if you want to become part of the Amazon Live program, you can now, right? But you got to have an iPhone, or else I guess you could do it with an iPad because it's an iOS device, kind of like Clubhouse, right? Mm-hmm. So the Amazon Live, or I should say the Amazon Influencer program, is actually in Canada, the UK, and India. But in India, you have to have a bank in India. So that's why we're not doing that. But I did have a friend in Britain. I was able to send them the link to my Amazon Live, and they were able to watch it. So we've gone ahead and set up the storefront in the other countries. The follower count will still follow your original follower count, but you're just going to have to build new idea list on those other countries' channels. So if you want to start thinking about, especially with social, if you got friends that are maybe in Canada and the UK, get your stuff out there. They can watch it. They can still order the stuff through their country's Amazon accounts. And sometimes, it's a little bit different items that aren't always available. So you may not sell those items on Amazon Live, but that's kind of the process. And then, of course, the next step is once you get started, get those first 90 minutes in. They're going to judge you on quality of your stream, your thumbnail. Get into the insider program as quickly as you can. And then, as we're all finding out, now you got to get a lot of followers to get to the A-list.
Yeah, I'm not. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Chris G, Christo? All right.
Jim covered it, man. That's
that's it, right? Jim covered it.
I just need to check.
And those are the steps. And I guess we'll close it out with just a word from each panelist to encourage those of you that are watching to get on board. We could go with Chris G. Go ahead, Chris. Give him your scouts cheer.
Hey, get started today. What's that tree? What's that old quote? The tree, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago and today.
That's good.
If you don't, I'll still take the check, so don't worry about it, guys. If you don't want to get on Amazon Live, I have no problem taking all the money. It's fine.
That's right. I just used one of our stores.
Yeah, I would just say, like, if you're thinking about it and you look at Amazon Live and you go, this isn't for me, this isn't my show, this isn't kind of where I want to be, nobody's talking about it, everybody's talking about YouTube, everybody's talking about, I would encourage you to just give it a shot if you qualify for it, for sure, because you'll see that it's beneficial. It's something that, you don't have to completely revolutionize and change everything that you're all not already doing already. So if you're already doing product unboxing and reviews and talking about all of that stuff on your YouTube channel, and you're hoping somebody's going to click a link when they happen to watch it,
that's good.
People are clicking your links all the time. So give it a shot, and we'd love to help you because we'd love to get better content on the platform for sure.
Amazing. Jim?
Yeah, I would say the big thing is don't be afraid to get started. And here's the other thing. A lot of people don't realize this. Amazon is the largest product search engine, not Google, Amazon. So people are searching for products on Amazon. You've got one of the largest logistical chains at your back now. You don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to become a Amazon seller or fulfillment by Amazon. You're going to potentially have an opportunity to get deals with companies because you're selling on a platform where you can prove what you're selling. And Amazon is starting to do other things, right? And so if you're already a creator, you may get an opportunity to do some of those things. I mean, Amazon Music with podcasts and everything else, they're getting big into the voice space, and I think they're going to continue to do more in the live space. So to me, it just made sense to get started.
Man, thank you guys. I know I just wanted to touch base with Amazon, touch base with people concerning Amazon Live, and I put it out there. And man, you guys, the heavy hitters within the communities that I'm involved in, decided to come up, and I think it bodes well. It speaks of who you guys are as givers, as people that are wanting to really challenge or change people's lives in the way they approach their creativity and their content, and even maybe the way they approach their monies. So I really appreciate this time, guys. Thank you so much for giving to everybody. For those of you that have been listening, we appreciate your time spent here, and hopefully that we have given you an added value to what you have. Most likely, if you are watching this already, you probably are a content creator, you're probably a live streamer, and you're probably doing already what I'm doing and what Jim is doing, what Chris is doing, what Chris G is doing, what DJ Mastermind is doing. And take it to the next place where, just spend some time into a space that is already there, that you're probably doing already, that you're talking about their products and their items and all the things that you have already been enjoying. But like I think like Jim or Chris was saying, that you actually have to have somebody click on your items in order for them to get to Amazon, and then they have to actually buy it. And then at that point, they just click on it. It's just one item. But if they click on the items that you're selling in your storefront, at least for the next 24 hours, and you may never know, they might have 100 people on their Prime account.
Now you're getting greedy.
And I'm just talking about my friend. There's no way I'm talking about myself. No, there may be some people in their family that are using that, and they may spend $1,000 that day. And why not make a percentage or two out of that 1,000? Out of their 1,000 they spend, you make $3, or make actually more percentage, more $30. Hey, it's $30 you didn't have before. So it is fantastic, and I thank you guys for joining us. And if you have any questions, hit us up. Again, give you guys some connect on the social media spaces, gentlemen.
Yeah, go to Twitter. I would just say go to dealcasters.live for the show. Sorry about that, Jim, but I'm castahead.net, and LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. You can find me.
Yeah, same here. FusionMarketing.com or Dealcasters.live to connect with us on Amazon.
Chris P. Giles 1 everywhere.
Chris P.
Find me
Giles
everywhere
1.
there.
See, that was a lot more simple than ours. We got to do that, Jim.
No. You said Deal Casters. I was about to be like, oh, hold on, let me get this other Deal Busters live. So I can just say that Deal Busters not live.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Thank you, gentlemen. And for me, it's hashtag lemdrops. That's and for when it comes, I've got the two different ways, but it's memes. It's merch for Togs over at Amazon. But I will probably do what these gentlemen have done and do merchfortogs.com/shop or Amazon. That's probably what I'll do right after this, so that I can forward that link, so that anywhere you go, it'll be there. Gentlemen, we got to do this again. Thank you guys again.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you.
Lim, I was pointing to all my free microphones. That's what that stack of things are.
That's what
That's
I
all my
was.
free
You
microphones.
know what's
from
funny?
Amazon.
When you were pointing, I actually looked to my left like you were pointing at MySpace.
That's hilarious.
He was looking for the kids with the Nerf guns again.
Yeah, and then you know what I did?
That's
I
a shoot.
actually I have a glass on the side of my door that opens, and so my daughter has learned how to open that and actually unlock my door. And so what I did is I Jimmy rigged it by actually putting a screwdriver.
That's awesome.
That's the worst.
I thought it was. I
Like,
thought
look,
that was
it's
really
a red
cool.
dot on
Though,
your head.
you know. Yeah, I thought it was really cool though if you have your kids come in like that. They wanted to be with daddy, and that you know, being a father myself, that warms my heart, man. You need to have them show up on your Amazon Live.
But you
man.
know
That'll
why
get
they
you some
do that,
clicks.
right? Chris, you know why they do that? Because every time you have something to do, that's when they show up. When you got nothing to do, that's when they
Right.
find
Exactly.
something else to do. But anyway, everybody, thank you all for joining us. Follow these gentlemen everywhere they are available. Thank you again. And until next time, this is Lemuel. Hashtag Lemdrops.